Alright, into customs for the first time since Danger Pack is released. I think this isn't the first game I played, but this is the first video I think. We've definitely had a customs video last week, but it was from pre-update. So this is more Gauntlet playtesting. I wanted to have a couple of packs ready to go for the Gauntlet Randomiser. Link in the description if you want to try it. And I wanted to make some packs involving Danger. So the first one I made was a split pack that is half Unicorn pack, half Danger pack. So the obvious crossover synergy between the two packs is going to be jump. So we have as many of the jump attack and jump pets as we can from the two packs. Of course, because they all have the same tags, you can't actually take the whole lot. So you have to make a decision between certain pets on certain tiers. As we lose here to a pretty rare Fruit Fly plus Robin opponent. And yeah, we take some of the early game pets that I've been buying quite a lot in Danger Packs. So two Herons, and then I think I'm going to take the Taki, which is one of my favourite units, even though I don't think it's very good. But yeah, these Herons, there's a little bit of a story with them because I haven't shown any footage of this yet, but the Heron did have a completely different ability for a large part of the test phase. And there's going to be a fair few misplays in this video. I think the Heron ability change might help explain that. So we'll get to that when it comes up. But we're going to take the double Sandpiper to immediately start buffing this Abomination. And yeah, I've been including Abomination in more packs recently. It was one of those things that I just never used to take at all. Funnily enough, after selling the Taki, the Abomination's first meal is a Taki in the left-hand slot. So we're going to win here. It maybe looked close, but we still had the summon inside the Abomination. Yeah, I think I would have rather had the Abomination getting more buffs than the Heron, but I guess I just, yeah, I'm not 100% sure why I changed the order. Maybe I thought I was going to go for the Heron ribbon here. Of course, we can also pair Heron with some of the other things from Danger. I can't actually remember exactly what is in this pack. This is pretty funny here, where we scrape the tie because of the falcon that the Abomination swallowed. So there we go, we get our level 3. And now I change the order to make sure we get all the value from the Heron. And we're going to have the Abomination swallow the leopard, the snow leopard. So something I wanted to try with this was having Abomination get scaled multiple times by Frogman because it has swallowed multiple jump units. Now, obviously this is something that you could technically do before. You could have Abomination swallow 2 different jump pets from Unicorn Pack. But their abilities kind of clash in that you can't activate both of them together unless the Abomination somehow gets moved. I'm actually not sure it would be possible to activate them because I think it would always prioritize one over the other. So I've also put Fairy Dust on the Abomination here. So that does mean that initially we're going to get the scaling from the Frogman regardless of whether or not we manage to swallow a jump unit. However, of course, I then immediately make the classic mistake of playing it in front of the Heron. So the Heron overwrites the Fairy Dust with the Meat Bone. Now I did mention that Heron's old ability was different, so what it used to do at the very beginning was if any of your pets got knocked out during the start of battle phase, the Heron would bring them back. And that was a really interesting ability. It did turn out to be a bit too powerful for tier 2, which is probably why it ended up getting cut. But yeah, hopefully something similar to that ability ends up in the game eventually. But now you can see we've got the Abomination triggering from the Fairy Dust and also from swallowing a jump pet. So it does definitely work. The Frogman will buff the Abomination twice. And we can definitely improve that to 3 times if we manage to get the right pets in the shop. I think here I'm just going to end up taking the Tiger Bug for the turns where the Abomination doesn't get to jump. And yeah, we'll just take the, okay, maybe not gingerbread. So we find a Tasmanian Devil. That will give us our jump for the Abomination. Although I think here I forget to unfreeze it. Yep. So the mouse cursor goes crazy. Opposing Abomination. Abomination Tiger is now ultra common in customs where it was very rare previously. But since we have the Fairy Dust, we still get the scaling. We just need to be a bit more careful about the pets in the shop. So yeah, I mean, the old Heron would have actually been really useful for a team like this because it could bring Frogman back if it got sniped, and I wouldn't necessarily need to take the melon. But yeah, unfortunately not available. So now, yeah, I think we're going to be okay here. Yeah, definitely. Although the Frogman did get removed even though we protected it. Unfortunate timing to face multiple crocodile snipes. So we'll go for level 2. And then, unfortunately, we don't get any jump pets on the level up there. There is African Wild Dog in the shop, but if we take that, the Abomination's attack will get set to 3, which is not ideal. Yeah, it looks like we're not going to find one this turn. And I think there are some turns here, maybe we've already passed one, where I fail to freeze some of the jump pets. It definitely takes me a while to, you know, get used to spotting certain units in the shop, especially when they're brand new. Now here, maybe it was on the last turn as well, but definitely another obvious misplay. And that is not really paying attention to the fact that the Heron is overwriting the stake with Meatbone. So just a slight downgrade there. I think here we're finally going to get to see a triple jump from one unit. Yeah, so we swallow the Tasmanian Devil and the Amami Rabbit. That gives us 2 start of battle jump attacks. And luckily the Abomination survives both of them, so it gets double buffed by the Frogman. And then it's going to jump to the front with the Fairy Dust and get another buff. So that, what was that? +6, +12 in one turn, or something like that. Yeah, the Abomination is almost at 50 health already. Clearly we're pretty heavily reliant on it though, and if it got skunked or something, you know, it's not going to survive multiple jump attacks. So we take the level up here. We don't get any jump units, but we can have the Abomination swallow both the Behemoth and the Tortoise. And then we end up facing an opposing Behemoth team, so yeah, we're not going to have much chance here. But we do still have 3 hearts, so we get a couple more opportunities to find a weaker opponent. And yeah, we'll just upgrade. Yeah, I take the stake, not... Yeah, okay, here we go. Finally, I realise that I have to move the Heron to the front. And I probably should just buy the Judean date there, but I think I'm just rolling, hoping for a jump pet. And I'm going to roll the whole shop down. Yeah, okay, we finally get one. And then we also get the Tiger Bug, although I don't think that's going to work with the Fairy Dust. But we can also swallow Geometric Tortoise, so the Abomination will snipe back when it gets hurt. Although it is only level 1 Geometric Tortoise, so it's not going to be massive damage. And here the Abomination's health got reduced heavily by the Kraken plus Tiger combo, but the Frogman buffs healed it back up. And we're hoping for some pretty nice spawns from the Baycat. Actually, in the end, it didn't matter at all because they only had 1 HP left on their Tiger. And we get the Heron ribbon, completely pointless, sitting at the front there, but it's always nice when you get an opportunistic achievement like that one.